This is Late Night Health. I'm Mark Alyn. Our guest, Matt Riemann, he is the founder of PH360. He had the whole thing that this started was when you were given some bad news. Is that it? And you decided you weren't going to take it.
Yeah, well, Mark, I guess that was a real instigating factor to make sure that we could spread this message wide and far for those that are in the same situation. But we'd been working in personalised health fields for many, many years, probably, I guess, close on 15 years. We were pioneering a lot of the work. Back in 15 years ago, we were doing a lot of the advanced blood tests and genetic tests and things like that with Olympic athletes and high-level politicians and entrepreneurs. It was very expensive back then to be able to have that, that information and that access, working with a number of different, therapists and neurologists and cardiologists and all the different ologists that exist. And we ended up, it was close on $100,000 or more to actually have that for an individual to be able to do. These days with PH360, we've got more accurate information than what we had back then, more accurate information than what exists even from a genetic test these days for under $200. It's ridiculous how accessible and affordable things are these days. And we're really excited about the concepts that are happening here. We're having some great conversations with,
and the price of these tests are coming down.
Oh, ridiculously! It's an incredible time to be, I guess, alive in the sense that information is becoming so readily available. But the information now is transitioning towards being 100% specific for you, for your unique biology, for your unique physiology, for your unique biochemistry. And when we can harness that information without having to know anything about health, you don't have to know anything about health anymore. You don't have to even remember health with what's happening with the progression through PH360 into a new virtual health assistant we have coming out soon called Shay. It's really an incredible time to be alive, to be able to know that you can actually be in control and in charge of your health and your disease states without having to know anything about that, which is really exciting.
What about how the world affects you? You have a couple of graphics available, from attitude and love, where do I spend time, when and if I exercise, what I eat. All of these different external forces affect your DNA and affect your life and your health? Absolutely.
It's again, this concept of epigenetics that we talk about, and there's 6 main areas of things that influence your genes. The first is food, and obviously we all know a lot about food. It's a big conversation that we've had today. The second is exercise, and again, if you ask anyone, if you want to get healthy, what do you do? It's always about, well, go on a diet or do some sort of change your food plan and start exercising in whatever capacity that might look like for you. But there's also the unseen conversations that don't happen just at this stage in science and medicine that we're now moving towards making more popular, which is about the people that you hang out with, the social interactions that you have. Can make you happy, can make you depressed, can make you sad, can make you stressed. It's about the environment and the climate that you live in, whether it's indoors, whether you have dust and mold, whether you're sitting under air conditioners all day with neck pain and back pain, or it's the outdoor environment with toxicity and pollutants in the waterways, the herbicides, pesticides, the wind speed, the temperature. All these things influence our gene expression. It's also about the understanding about the actual how our minds and how we think and how we perceive the world can create a lot of stress for us and create situations which actually changes our gene expression. And all of this is backed by science now. It's really an exciting time to be able to see that. And what we've been able to do with PH360 is to quantify this for each person. And you can navigate through and understand about you specifically, about all these different areas and have navigation, insight and recommendations in these areas to keep you healthy and to keep the good genes switched on and the bad genes switched off.
Is there a difference between the average American and the average Australian as it compares to this chart?
There is actually, yes. There's a cultural layer that comes into the mix when we're in different countries. We're in 17 different countries at the moment. And between Asia, between Europe, between Australia, between US, we notice a lot of different changes in the cultural layers as to how we're growing up, what we believe and what we think about, what's important to us. And this is actually stems from when we're growing up at a younger age. In fact, most of our beliefs and most of our the way we think is programmed in our minds in the first 7 years of our life. It's quite an interesting area of conversation, and this sort of shapes the way that we move and the way that things show up for us in the world. And it's a really great time to understand that we can actually be in control of things. And epigenetics is now showing that it's over 90% of our intention, over 90% of our outcomes of our health or disease states are delivered by these epigenetic things outside of our genes. The fate of our future isn't determined by our genetics. And so nature, our environment, and our lifestyle does, which is what epigenetics is. And we're in control of that. We get to choose what we put in our mouth. We get to choose if we move our body, if we don't move our body. We get to choose who we hang out with. We get to choose what we do with our time.
And you can kind of program your life, if you will, through the app, the PH360 app.
Absolutely. You don't even have to know anything about this. You can do an assessment. It takes about 30 minutes online from the comfort of your own home. We've spent many, many years, as I said, over 10 years, reverse engineering the fields of genetics and bloods and so many different things. And now you don't have to do any invasive tests at all. It's just a 30-minute assessment from home that's more accurate than a genetic test, more accurate than a blood test. It's really an incredible time with this new health technology that's emerging, and we're excited to be on the forefront of it.
Well, we're excited to be part of it as well. Thank you, Matt. Matt Riemann's been our guest from PH360. What is your website, quickly? PH360.me. PH360.me. Thank you for using Apple. And Matt, we look forward to our conversations again in the future. And great getting the USDA to take a look at that pyramid and get rid of it. All right, coming up next, we're going to talk about coloring books for adults and how it can relax you and maybe do some other things as well. We'll wrap up today with Robert Clancy. Don't go away.
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Alyn. The show continues in a moment.